Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thank you guys all so much for stopping by. My name is Eli. Tuesdays and Thursdays are our Q&A session days where I answer any and all of your guys' questions related to Pokemon. If you're wondering why the title of the video, however, is the same as the previous, plus the Q&A, I typically don't have time to go through the comment section and answer any of your guys' or all your guys' questions. So Tuesday and Thursdays are the days where you can have your questions answered live. But before we jump into it, as always, we do weekly giveaways. All you have to do to enter is leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And outside of that, I highly recommend you check out the links down in the description below, one of which is for our Patreon. I think we're currently full, but it's always worth checking in to see if we ever have any open spots for our wholesale access group to get access to product outside of Pokemon. Basically, you're just simulating a game store for the price of a monthly fee, which is well worth it. And then outside of that, if you want to be a part of the community in any way as well, links down in the description below for our Discord. But if you guys don't already know, we've sold about a third of our break pack so far for the break that we're going to be hosting this Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Obviously, we didn't do a break for Crown Zenith, but we are back on track. We're back to schedule of trying to have consistent breaks. We're going to try and bring it back. And so we're starting it off with the new era for Scarlet and Violet. So if you want to be a part of that, check out our website, PokemonUSA.com, where you can access our break packs, where your packs will be opened up live on stream. But now, jumping into it. So let's give a couple shout outs to people that are here. Poke Collector J, Mikkel Christians, Trinell, Dolfo, Department Store, RD, Robert Norin, Tori, Joker, Daddy Zard, Jose, Corey D, Babe Cakes, I think I already said Amari, but I'll say it again if I didn't. Pika Pika, Ripper, Danny, holy crap, guys, DJ, Tom Piz, and there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Holy crap, we finally, wow, this is a lot of people today. So shout out to you guys that are already here. So, all right, let's just get started then, ladies and gentlemen. I think we will. I don't think we'll ever see ES in Europe again. Hey, who knows? Only time will tell, man. Anyone else enjoying? I thought I was hearing something weird in the other room. The background noises got me. Was there background noises? Was I making background noises? Was the volume being able to be heard? Uh-oh, that's not good. Hopefully you guys couldn't hear what I was listening to in the background. Jose says, Eli, tried sliding your DMs. I will get back to you shortly. I am my turnaround times or response times vary depending upon what I am up to, Jose. So that's the reason why I have not gotten back to you yet. But don't worry, I have the icon notification that says that you sent me a message. So when I have a second, I will definitely respond back to you. But hello, what's up, Bonebreaker? Shadowless Tony, good to see you. Love the support, killing it, Lily. Appreciate that, Zard. But yes, for those of you guys that did not watch yesterday's video, or did watch yesterday's video, today's main topic is going to be a conversation about what we can do in the future to make predictions on playable cards. One thing I honestly really wish TCG Player had a way of tracking is if you look at best selling, right? I assume best selling is ranked by volume. I would like to imagine that. And when I want to go take a look and see what the best selling for a certain, how do I want to say this? I wonder if I can filter. See, here's the thing. If you go and look in the Sword and Shield era, you can filter by the Sword and Shield era. But to my knowledge, when it comes to filtering by multiple different sets, you have to go in and you have to go to the main Pokemon page and you have to go in and manually do it for sets. And it's really frustrating for me because I want to be able to go in and see what all of the I want to see what all of the current competitive cards are that are popping off in value. Because let's be honest here, guys. The possibilities of some of these cards just randomly popping off in value, there's a ton of real value to be made in falling competitive cards. Another thing importantly as well is competitive cards that were, printed out of the meta but have a possibility of being brought back. Old variations of those cards also go up in value. So paying attention to stuff like that is also extremely important. But we're going to try and see if we can look at some of the cards in the current meta. Let's see. Is there any other one that I am missing? I think that Battle Styles and Brilliant Stars. Sword and Shield. Battle Styles. Oh, do I have to add all the trainer galleries now? Is that what that's going to make me do? I probably should add the trainer galleries. And we will see. Lost Origin. Brilliant Star. But you guys see what I mean by this? There's not really an easy way for you to go through and be able to filter. And maybe I'm wrong. To see what the standard format cards that are available when trying to follow prices. All right, there we go. Finally. I honestly almost want to just save this. Get rid of sealed product. Now looking at cards. All right. So according to what it is telling us, obviously the most popular being a lot of the alternate arts. But there it is. There's a Regieleki. We had a conversation about this on yesterday's video. The value of this item just continues to climb. It's absolutely insane. Here's another one that we can see, the Force Seal. Oh my gosh, guys. Look at this value. Holy crap. Holy crap. The value of this card, that is insane. I mean, the value of this card honestly has just continued to go up, but it has gone up even more so exponentially most recently. We obviously have no clue how viable this is going to be in the long term. This isn't really anything special. It's just a new item from a set. Lugia V-Star. Has that gained any sort of relevancy and value? It has gone up quite a little bit, but yeah, paying attention to stuff like this. It's interesting to see. It's fascinating to see. All right, let me start answering some questions. Are you finding the small V hero tins? I don't know what you mean by that. I don't think so. Oh, what's up, Joker? Good to see you. What's up, department store? Congrats to Tom for winning as well. Are the reprints dead? I mean, honestly, here's my kind of personal opinion at this point on the reprints is I'm just waiting until May. That's where I am, because May is the time in which we've heard information that more than likely we're going to be getting news, but we don't know what that looks like, right? Does that news mean that reprints are coming? Does that news mean that there's going to be no reprints? We just know that from what we've been told so far, May is going to be the time, and that's kind of what I'm waiting for right now, because at this point, I've been talking to my distributors and they've told me that they told me nothing. They have told me absolutely nothing so far. And it's upsetting. But, we'll see. List of card prices are too high to low of all the sets. I should do high to low, but I feel like that could just show us all the alternate arts. When you reckon you'll restart the personal seal collection again? Well, I mean, restart, I don't, for seal collection? Ooh, that's a good question. When I feel comfortable with my financial situation, that's the first thing. Because, it's tax season, as you guys are aware. And my bookkeeper is going to make bank off of me because holy crap, I how do I want to say this? So good things and bad things are happening for me personally, right? Good things. The business is growing, specifically the wholesale program, fast. And because of that, there's obviously a lot of things going on, right? With that, my bookkeeper is like, hey, why do you have just like thousands of dollars of transactions going from like multiple different sources? Like, and I'm like, oh, well, so people sometimes pay me through my personal PayPal, and then sometimes they pay me through my business PayPal, and then sometimes they Zelle me, and then sometimes I buy stuff on this credit card, and then sometimes I buy stuff on this credit card. And literally it's like my bookkeeper's like, holy shit, this kid is making my life difficult. So because of that, I need to get my crap together and lining up my sources of how do I want to say this, taking in revenue from that, because my bookkeeper is having an absolute nightmare in terms of trying to track everything, and because of that, she's going to gouge my eyes out with how much money she's going to get paid. Obviously this is good because it's going to save me for taxes, but at the end of the day, it's like stuff like that where I'm like, all right, I'm going to absolutely get wrecked with the amount of money I'm going to have to pay coming this tax season, especially when it comes to paying my professionals. But at the same exact time, you know, that's with the expectation that going into this year, or starting with the program's consistency, I should hopefully get to a point where I can start to build some capital again, because it's like, all right, sweet, we added more wholesale spots. Hooray, that's exciting. Now let's take the money and let's use it to reinvest in the business, or let's kind of chill a little bit. Nope, all of that money immediately going to taxes. So that's kind of where I am right now with just spending money on myself. Like, I'll go out to dinner here and there, like with my fiance, but like other than that, yeah, it's a process, we'll say, especially too because with product being so scarce, my distributor constantly calls me all the time and is like, hey Eli, I have product available, you need to pick it up while I'm on the phone with you right now, and if you don't pick it up, then you're not going to be able to get it. So constantly I'm having to just hold product just to have it, and then I'm just so backed up on product. I'm, you know, inventory management is another thing that is now become a fun thing that I'm trying to figure out. Like, before, inventory management was super duper easy because I obviously had a platform I was running things on, but now I don't have a platform I'm running things on, and so it's like kind of hard to keep track of things, but it's for the sake of obviously you know, saving on fees and stuff. So, you know, just process. It's just consistent baby steps, you know. Taxes, gotta love them. I know tax season's the best. What's up, Travis? Good to see you as always. Eli, avoiding taxes? Yeah, I'd be pissed to get you on one card. Well, it's like, okay, so I've been doing a lot of travel for business, right? Because I fly back and forth to Bend for going and visiting the shop. And so I basically was like, all right, I'm gonna get some travel cards. So I got multiple travel cards. I got two in particular. I got the Amex travel card, and then I got the Venture X travel card. And they both have intro bonus offers. What do I and what do? I literally spend a ton of money on those cards to hit the bonus offer, and then basically like never again. And my accountant will be like, is there anything else you're missing in terms of spend? I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot. I have this miscellaneous credit card that I spent money on once. Which, to be fair, I'll probably be spending more on the Venture X. For business expenses, highly doubt it with the Amex. But yeah, no, it's like stuff like that where I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna get points, and then that's it. And that's where I kind of am with that. But I do have one specific credit card I usually throw everything onto because it's just easiest to do it that way. Also, shouldn't be that hard. It's well, so the thing that's the most difficult, I would say, has less to do with the credit card, because if you really think about it, when it comes to my multiple credit cards, the like ones that I have, some of them are like very few transactions. The hardest part, honestly, is coming with my sources of revenue, because like I was talking to her the other day, and she was like, all right, so according to what we're saying, I don't know if I should say this part out loud, but it said that I was losing a lot of money. And I was like, why am I losing a lot of money? That's not right. And she's like, I have absolutely no idea, but it says you're losing a lot of money based on what my records are showing from what we've done. And it's because it's hard for her to track my sources of revenue, because they're coming through PayPal, multiple different accounts. They're coming from Shopify when I was using Shopify. They're coming from Zelle. They're coming from Patreon. There's like 5 or 6 different sources of revenue, right? And so it's one of those things where we're trying to track all the sources of revenue, and it's just making her life a living hell. Which is why, to make things smoother, in the next week to 2 weeks, hopefully it might be longer than that, but I am in the process of setting up a merchant account for the wholesale program, which is going to be really nice because it will allow me to just do straight ACH transactions, which is going to be awesome. So I'll be able to automatically pull funds from people's accounts. I'll obviously need everyone's ACH information that they'll have to submit and file, but you know, this is the growing pains, obviously, of the business continuing to climb and grow. So that's going to be the next process, but it'll be nice because it's going to streamline things. So we won't have to do Zelle, we won't have to do PayPal and everything. It's all going to run straight through ACH. So that's going to be super duper nice. We're basically going to try and run it how my distributors run it with me. So you'll file your information, we'll have your information on hand, and then from there, once your order gets filled, we'll just automatically pull the funds from your account. That's exactly how Distro does it with us. So we're just going to try and basically replicate the distribution model. So it'll make it easier because we'll no longer have to, I mean, there's a list of people that, you know, still have to pay on shipping for certain products. And so it'll be one of those things where we can just automatically go in and do that. So it's going to be so much nicer. It's going to be so much smoother for both our sell and saving things. And then also it's going to be so much smoother for my bookkeeper for being able to track things. But we're also going to look into doing invoices as well, which will be nice because we're going to start needing to do that because pretty soon here, if we keep scaling at the volume we're scaling, we might actually have to require people to get tax exempt forms because of how much sales we're doing. We're not there yet, but you know, there's eventually gonna come a point where we're gonna need people to get tax exempt because the amount of volume that we're doing is insane. But yeah, no, it's like there's so many things that are going on behind the scenes that we're trying to like come up with to just make everything more streamlined, right? Make everything more organized. Because as you guys remember, when I first started the program, there was things that were going on that like 50 different sheets that I was running things on. So we're just trying to streamline things. But anyway, I digress with that. We are going to move on from just the answer to adding the collection. That is a long way of saying not at this moment in time. I would be lying if I said there hasn't been some temptations because I went and checked on eBay for some product that I was like, ooh, level X 10s. Those are a lot cheaper than anticipated. And one person selling like 5 of them. I wonder if I can shoot them an offer and buy them all. But I'm like, all right, patience. So, but time will come with that. But moving on, I do want to take a look and see some of the other cards though, and see what the value of some of these have gone up with. Obviously we know the Gardevoir, Battle VIP Pass. I think that one actually has just continued to climb. Yep, Battle VIP Pass obviously is continuing to go up in value because it is just going to continue to be competitively viable. I almost wonder if I just go, if I just filter by supporters for the start and just kind of see if we can look through all the supporter cards and see if there's anything in particular that has been going crazy. Obviously Miram, we already know that. You know, Judge from Silver Tempest. Is the volume of this going up in price? Wow, what do you know? Okay, so Judge has done literally nothing but go up in value. So Judge as a competitive card is also extremely popular. Serena looks like she's the same. She's just always been popular as a card, so hasn't really seen much of a change in that. Penny's a new card. Guys, Fusion Strike, the just standard judge card, is now at $1.76. Wow, that's crazy. That's actually insane. Whoa, that's mind-boggling. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Let's see if I can also grab trainers. We're gonna look at just standard cards first before we look at Pokemon. Yep, so we know the Force Seal's gone up. The Nest Ball obviously being brought in. The Switch card value. This card's been climbing, but you know, the Switch just absolutely skyrocketed everything up in value. So here's what I'm kind of coming to the conclusion of. When you guys want to have a conversation about what is changing, here's the situation, guys. Let's take a look at the past year for a Switch card. So the Switch card value, it kind of was like sideways for a little bit. Then we saw a creep up in value going to the end of the year. Then all of a sudden, guess what happens? Boom, rotation hits. Value absolutely just skyrockets. So I think what honestly the play is we look at cards that are already competitively viable right now. They're in the meta. They're sitting at around that 15 to 40 cent price range. And then all of a sudden, what ends up happening is the value of these cards just skyrocket up because of the rotation. And now they're more prevalent than ever because all the older cards got rotated out. So the point that I'm basically making with this is, guys, if you see competitive decks that have cards that have extremely playable cards and they've been slowly climbing, expect them to hit a like absolute point of full volatility once the rotation happens. And that's where you're going to see a majority of your opportunity, it looks like. So that's kind of crazy to see. Irida obviously has just been doing Irida things. Actually kind of gone down a little bit. Interesting to see. Serena hasn't really done anything. It looks like she's kind of just gone sideways. Nothing really crazy there. Is there any other cards that we're seeing that have had insane value? I wish they weren't showing us these rarities. Can I also do by rarity? I can. I can go uncommon. We're gonna go by uncommon. Level Ball, interesting. Has Level Ball gained in value at all? No, Level Ball's slightly gone up. See, but like cards like that where it's kind of gone sideways, it's not really of interest, I feel like. It's the cards that were slowly climbing previously. Like this card, for example. This card slowly climbed and then all of a sudden, boom, just skyrocketed up. Spacing competitive Pokemon is easy money. Spacing? I don't know what you mean by that. Spend hours looking through a bulk to find one judge card. Well, don't do that, man. Don't just look for one card if you're filtering out. For me personally, what I've always liked to do is I've always liked to just filter out trainers. Because trainers are usually where your money is, right? That's where you're going to see the most amount of value when it comes to a lot of cards. But yeah, no, I mean, some of these cards have just been going crazy, man. Like, we're talking couple X to 10X. Are you going to make a video on what cards to pull out of our bulk for people to sell to play on TCG Player? I don't know if I want to necessarily do that because there's an endless value, I feel like, when it comes to the amount of cards I would tell you to pull out. Like, if you're asking me to make one about big hitter cards, potentially, but I kind of want to wait and see where the market shifts first, because I could make a video about that, and I can make a video about that, Martin, and be like, all right, these are the cards, and then literally a couple weeks later the market could shake up a little bit more because things just changed, and then all of a sudden there's like 10 other cards that I could have mentioned in that video. So I want to wait before I really say anything, because there's a lot of opportunity. But yeah, as we can see, it looks like mainly on the first page, the cards that are on the first page are the ones that are being represented the most. So we're gonna get rid of now all these trainer cards. We're just gonna look at Pokemon cards now. We're gonna see just standard, common, uncommons, and we're just gonna see what the value of some of these cards are. So we got standard common, uncommon, we're gonna go rare, holo rare, and then we're gonna go with getting rid of trainer, so we're not doing trainers anymore. And we're gonna go holo rare, or we already did holo rare, and we already did rare. Common, character rare. Where's character rare? I don't know. We don't know where character rare is, but we can look at that in a second. Okay, so a couple of cards that are popping out right now, as you guys can see. Lost Origin, Sableye. Okay, that card is a holo foil card that has absolutely gone crazy. Holy crap. Whoa. All right, so we got some holo foil cards that are now selling for $5-6. Good to know. Gardevoir from Chilling Reign. Is this also a holo card? Wow, look at that. Okay. Wow. Oh, nothing to see here, guys. Just a card, you know, going from 51 cents all the way up to like $10 as a holo. That's not insane at all. Curlia from Silver Tempest. Comfy. These are the non-holo rare versions too. There's Klefki from base set. Astral Radiance. Is this a holo though? Because I don't think that's really that impressive if it's a holo. Wow, that's just crazy. But as you guys can really see, it's a lot of psychic cards that are kind of playing into this. It's a big theme with psychic cards. Wow. That's so crazy. It went up that much. Went up multiple dollar points. Huh. The more you know, though. I mean, things are changing in the market, guys. Things are changing. And that's just the standard common, uncommon, rare cards. If we go take a look at now ultra rares, which I think that should show VMAXs. Correct, it is. See, that's annoying though, because I don't want to see the Giratinas and everything. I just want standard VMAXs. Got the Regieleki, we got the Gardevoir, Raikou from Brilliant Stars. That doesn't really look like it's changed a ton to my knowledge. But yeah, things are going crazy, guys. Max, Arceus, yes. Yeah. Check Clara from Chilling Reign. We can take a look at Clara. I wonder if she'll pop up with the filter. So Clara from Chilling Reign, her card value has done absolutely nothing for her standard version. For her full art card, on the other hand, her card price has absolutely skyrocketed. I think, and I could be wrong about this, I think her card less has skyrocketed because of competitive viability, and I think it's more because potential waifu. I just kind of, that's what I would believe. Wait till you get into payroll, it's a nightmare. Oh my gosh, bro. You're telling me that sounds like a fun time. I'm excited for that. Nice, now I won't have to see all my money leaving my account. Oh. I spent hours looking. Already answered that question. You said specking? Ah, I see. I was so confused. Keep an eye out for electric cards going up the next few weeks. Regieleki, probably not alone, just the first to spike. Well, the one that surprises me the most, right? Since we're talking about competitive viability in cards. If we look and see what makes this card good. The value you're really getting from this card is your basic lightning Pokemon's attacks do 30 more damage. that does add a ton of value. And outside of that, I mean, Max Thunder Lightning does 250 damage because it buffs, or no, this is not a basic Pokemon, so it does 220. So but it just acts as an automatic buff, more or less. And what's interesting to me is that with the Raikou card, which obviously has gone up in value, this attack does 20 more damage for each benched Pokemon. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon's on your active spot, you may draw a card. This attack does 20 more damage for each benched Pokemon. But that's not really that crazy though, right? Am I tripping? I mean, it can do 240 if it's a full bench, right? Or no, I think it could do 200 if it's a full bench. But that's not really that crazy, but I guess it's a basic. I don't know. This is where we get into things. Because it blows my mind. I mean, if someone wants to, please explain to me the real value of the Regieleki and how that's going to synergize with certain other basic electric cards. Because I feel like when you say basic, that's where I get a little bit lost on the value, because that's so value specific. Like, sure, you could go with the Raikou, but you're saying that you're also hoping that the opponent is going to be running a full bench, which who knows? I mean, it's entirely possible they could be running a full bench. And Jolteon, this attack does 100 damage to one of your Pokemon. I mean, that's just not that crazy though. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Some people will probably know more than I will in terms of this. Time to go through your bulk. Seriously, man. Wondering about Paldea Evolved versus the 151. Which one do you see having a bigger yield over 2 years? 151. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know what's in either of the sets fully yet, but 151 is going to be crazy. Like 151, it looks like it's going to be insane for a set. How's the economy impacting TCG sales in store and online? Are you asking that for myself or just in general? Real talk, the lowly love in the hobby sickens me. The only redemption is how many kids are in the hobby. Lowly, what do you mean by lowly? Like the waifu? Travis says Eli sent you an email. I will check. FOMO explains everything. That's the synergy. Oh, Meridon EX. I spelled that completely wrong. Myard. Mirda. Jesus loves me. I'm stroking out, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so this makes sense. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. This does 220 damage. Once during your turn, you search your deck for up to 2 electric Pokemon and put them onto your bench. Then shuffle your deck. That's interesting. Okay, I see where the synergy is now. Has Koga been around lately? You know, I don't think I can say Koga has been around lately. I haven't seen Koga in a while. I know he took a trip to Japan, but I'm pretty sure he's back. Sales for yourself. Store's been doing good. I would say that the store has been doing good so far. We're still filling out the building, which is nice. And then for online sales, I haven't really talked to my partner about our online sales because we were having issues with some of the people we hired, and that was a process. So we had to kind of put that on pause for a little bit, but he said that it's been doing really well recently. Last time I discussed with him, for the storefront. And then for myself personally, I haven't really done a lot of online sales because I have just been kind of accumulating a bunch of bulk in backstock. They should have made a secret rare VIP pass. I mean, in theory, they still could. I don't see why not. is a genre of fictional media in which you young girls care. Oh, that is kind of sus. Yikes, that's kind of gross. Ew, it's kind of disgusting. Ugh, that is wrong on a lot of levels. All right, well, moving on. From that, yikes. You know what's one thing I am surprised never got really off the ground more is the Pikachu VMAX and Flaffy deck. I feel like that never really got competitive play. Because the Pikachu VMAX deck, this card, it says you may discard all cards attached to this. If you do, this attack does 150 more damage, right? So this card does 270 damage. And then with the Flaffy deck, and maybe this is just me, but with the Flaffy card, it is, once during your turn, you may attach an electric energy card from your discard pile to one of your benched Pokemon. I never understood how this never like took off as a deck, because if you have a switch or you have a balloon, right, 270 switch, 270 switch, 270 switch, and obviously air balloon is not prevalent now because it just rotated out, but I mean there's gonna be something that's gonna make it a retreat cost very limited shortly. And the point I'm just making with this is I just find it quite bizarre that there wasn't something more that was made out of this as far as a competitive deck. Because I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I don't know the meta well enough to determine that. But I look at that card and I look at the Flaffy card and I say the setup on that could be crazy. Because if you say now in the current meta, right, you've got a Pikachu and you have now, let's back it up a little bit. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 2 basic electric Pokemon and put them onto your bench. Shuffle your deck afterward, right? Here's what I look at. I say, all right, Miraidon can search for basic electric Pokemon. What do? I search for this, find another one of the Miraidons, then that allows me to, in theory, get 3 more electric basic Pokemon on my bench. I'm now going to search for at least 2 Mareeps and a Pikachu, or maybe 2 Pikachus and a Mare. However you want to look at it, right? And the consistent churning of value you could get from this for electric type cards, I feel like it can be implemented infinitely, if that makes sense. But I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it's because I'm looking at it from the perspective of there's only so much bench Pokemon you can have, so it's not as valuable, because with the Flaffy, I don't know. Elekis affects that. Yeah, well that doesn't surprise me. Cynthia's the one true waifu card. I love Cynthia. Cynthia is the one true waifu. I will agree with that, but not from the perspective of like I'm into really the waifu craze, because I'm not. I like her specifically because I'm a huge Gen 4 fan, and she was the one champion that I had to save before I played, because holy crap, she was so difficult to beat. She was ridiculously difficult to beat. So 30 extra damage can mean the difference from you winning or losing. So I see why Reggie is being played. You just keep it on your bench for the ability. No, and that totally makes sense to me. And obviously, like you said, it's stacking, so it's continuous. So you're saying to yourself, all right, Miraidon is it's 220 plus a stacking 30, right? If you have at least 3 of them, that's going to add 90, so that's going to put you at 310, which allows you to knock just about anything out. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. I assume you can switch into another Miraidon and just keep rinse and repeating, right? So I assume that's probably why the value is there. Like it makes sense. I guess I always just wondered why you couldn't you never saw the Pikachu more prevalent in the meta, and maybe because it's too slow of a deck. Maybe that's why. Because I feel like my biggest thing in the meta, and maybe one of my biggest complaints, is I feel as if when it comes to competitive play these days, there's very much an emphasis on the cards that are, or the decks that are most powerful involve the main like bulky cards only having one evolution or no evolution, if that makes sense. And so, for example, a deck that's obviously really popular, it's the Mew VMAX and the Genesect deck. When it comes to that deck, you can easily steamroll people without having a Mew VMAX because you have Meluetta as another card that just rolls people with the special energies. And that's something that always kind of annoyed the crap out of me because the setup for that deck is just super aggressive. It's super fast. You're getting so much draw early and out the gate, and it's just not really fun. There isn't really like a time for setup, right? And so when I look at a deck like this, and I say, wow, all you have to do is evolve a Regieleki, and there you go, you've got a setup. I mean, sure, I guess that's going to take more time than the standard, you know, Mew deck because you don't need Genesect to evolve or you don't need Meluetta to evolve. But I mean, for the Miraidon, all you need to do is just slap 2 electrics on your bench with basics and then search for an evolution Pokemon using an Ultra Ball or something, whatever's in the current meta available. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Wish I had time to actually play the game. Too busy opening packs. I feel that, AK. Red is the one true waifu. She is the most BA champion. I agree with that. I'm old school Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny. Ooh, I like that. Which we never have gotten cards for a Officer Jenny. Which is upsetting. Eli dressing up as Nurse Joy. No. I still can't afford the Starmie TG from Astral Radiance. Really? It's like 20 bucks. You can find 20 bucks in your pocket. Trying to expand my sales to players instead of just collectors. Lot of research on TCG to do. Well, that's the thing, man, is if you want to make this, I like how this conversation is going off a tangent while you stuck. I'm trying to, because I feel like this is important stuff. I mean, obviously we can always troll and I'm always gonna have fun with it, but yeah, no, well, you guys are so funny. Obviously, so when it comes to, okay, let me backtrack this actually. So here's the deal. People are always under the impression that money isn't sealed. And yes, from a long-term investment perspective, money isn't sealed. But when it comes to a business, as a business owner, your job is not to sit on product. Your job is to constantly flip product. And so you need to have the liquidity to be able to consistently be flipping things, right? And obviously when it comes to sealed product, the margins tend to be a lot thinner. However, with cards, you can see a lot more margin if you play your cards right. Haha, play on words. And with that, competitive viable cards or sealed product that people are sleeping on because it can be broken down to find other things is extremely, extremely important for people to really pay attention to. So that's kind of how I look at it in the grand scheme of things when discussing, okay, what is opportunity that I can find in the market, right? And we talked about this with LO. We talked about this with Silver Tempest, build and battles, because there's a ton of value. There's a ton of value to be had, right? And we can even show a YouTube video and discuss that. There's something I wanted to look up too. Let me, I want to look up Misty for a second. I don't know if it's actually going to pop up. It said $22, but that's, no, I lied, it's $35. Fact checked, I'm wrong. But let's go to watch a quick YouTube video, and I just want to show you guys a breakdown of the what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm looking something up. I'm gonna go to YouTube. Man, I feel like you need to be really careful with the search bar. But we are going to look at Silver Temp. Nah, let's not do Silver Tempest. Let's do Lost Origin. Let's do Lost Origin Build a Battle. And we can see what the cards are typically in one of these items, because it is important for people to notice the value of some of these items. So outside of the competitive bulk cards, which Machamp is not one of them, so we'll just skip past that. You have some other cards that are worth some value. So Kingdra, these are promos. That one's worth only like 20 cents. It's not that crazy. But can I see? Is that all that was in it? That's not right. You've got other competitive cards, right? You've got Level Ball. You've got... Holy crap, this is the wrong person I must have picked because this guy's shaky as crap. You've got an Irida. So here's another thing, guys. You've got a Irida that you can pull from this. That is a non-holo, obviously. And if you look at just the straight value for the deck exclusive, it's selling for $1.17. So every build and battle you open, you... for Lost Origin, you're almost guaranteed going to get an Irida. So that's an insane amount of value from a just non-holo card that you're going to be able to pull. And then with Silver Tempest, obviously, that would be the non-holo version of... Tempesty. That's going to be the non-holo version of the Archeops. So we will back up a little bit. So this is Rapidash, but it should have, if it moves the frick on and hurries up, should be following up. Yep, here it is. So it also has a non-holo version of an Archeops, which is a card that, once again, is included in this. Not including the promo version, just the standard version, which it looks like the value of this has actually gone down quite a bit. It's only 20 cents. But before it was, I mean, gosh dang, it was 50 cents plus, which might not seem like a lot, but when you get multiple copies, that's almost $2 in value. Like, it's a lot. Or sorry, $1 in value. But the point that I'm making with this is not only are you getting promos with a lot of these items that are going to have competitive value, but you're also getting trainer cards and you're getting some that are in the meta, whether they be holo or not holo. Someone should make a Jinx card. Do you recommend buying the card online or getting the card through a pack at the same time, running into duplicates? I'm really confused by what you mean. Are you talking about for having a collection? Are you talking about for bulk? I'm curious what you mean by that. Oh yeah, the Curly. I mean, I won't shut up about the Curlia promo. The Curlia promo is insane. I mean, the Curlia promo. This is insane. Like, look at this card. Look at this card. This card is just insane. I remember when I first saw this card and it was selling for like $4. I thought that was crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, this card's selling for $4. It was selling for $6.40 when we were last discussing it yesterday, guys. Look what it's selling for now. It's now selling for $6.90. It's already gone up 50 cents in the past day since I made my video. That's insane. I have so many of these. I wouldn't be surprised if I had at least 250 to 500 copies of this. So your boy's gonna cash out. I'm actually curious. If I do have 500 of these, what is that times $7? I've got $3,500 in Curlias. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Cool. Sweet. Oh, wow. Well, I hope I have that much. I know at least I probably have at least 250. Doing business tax returns, trying to imagine Eli. Yikes, that's Eli, this is random, but what do you think of how advanced the AI is becoming, and do you ever use it for anything business related? No, so far the only thing I've ever seen it is with memes. That's the only thing I've seen AI be used for. Like the most common one I would see is the presidents playing like some sort of video game. Like the presidents will be like playing Minecraft or something. If you guys have probably seen that. Another one I've seen as well is them doing a ranking for Pokemon. I thought that one was kind of funny. I disagreed with so many of their takes, but but I thought it was still funny. But that's about all I've seen AI used for, really. Personally, I haven't really delved into it too much, but it's definitely something that could be of value. I remember someone saying that they made a tweet, and it was one of their most liked tweets, and basically they just generated something that they thought was going to be popular in the chatbot. Also had some people say that I should look for YouTube video popularity through titles on Pokemon investing and see if I can find that through the chatbot. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity and possibility. I just need to take a second to look into it, you know? All right, I'm caught up live. Comfy and Gengar pre-release. Well, Comfy and Gengar are huge, of course. Hey Eli, wondering what's the easiest way to ship a booster box? 6x6x4 is what I've done always. 6x6x4 by far is the easiest way to ship USPS priority mail. That's how I've done it forever. If there's a cheaper way, I would say that if you can do parcel select, that's another way of doing it through USPS, but not every place offers that. But typically speaking, for a box that's small with that small of an item, you're usually going with priority for the most part. It's only going to save you minimal amount. So you're saying I can get rich quick? You heard me, Lochnet. Exactly. That's exactly... Those words did come out of my mouth. You caught me red-handed. I have at least 3 free packs. Let's go, baby. Man, I'm stacked on these promos. Can't be real. That's insane. Also have 150 of these sealed. Yeah, I know. I kid you not. My so we have an at-home office that is where we keep like all of our bulk and our bulk sorting machine and everything. And I've been obviously super busy, so I haven't had the time to go through and break down all of my bulk. But I've got like boxes and boxes and boxes of just promo cards that I've just held on to, and I'm like, holy crap. I don't like, some of this stuff has been going up in value. I'm actually curious. Here's one thing I do want to take a look at. So Trainer Toolkits 2022. Let's take a look at Trainer Toolkit 2022. And the reason why I want to look at this is because actually we can see on the back. Because Trainer Toolkit 2021 is obviously they came up with a scoop of nets. That was super important. All of that has filtered out. We now have Trainer Toolkits 2022. What cards in here are still competitively viable or are of any value, right? Because Evolution Incense rotated out. Marnies rotated out. Air Balloons rotated out. I mean, the value, let's see what the value is of Air Balloon. I'm actually curious. Air Balloons are now going, well, they dropped slightly. Oh, wow. Oh, actually, hold on one second. Got a couple of 10-cent sellers. There's only a couple. It probably really hasn't dropped that much. But outside of that, what are some other cards that could potentially have gain value? Could Adventure Discovery? Nope, it hasn't gained any value. What about Cross Switcher? Cross Switcher is selling for not much. Cross Receiver. Am I spelling that wrong? Yeah, Cross Receiver. What's Crossceiver doing? Also, once again, not really selling for much. I mean, the cards, Fog Crystal, it's selling for a little bit. Escape Route selling for a little bit, but there's been so many different variations. I just gotta wonder if what's 2023 gonna bring, right? 2023, I feel like, is going to have a lot of potential, or at least I'd like to think so. Because specifically with 2023, it's going to be a new era, and it's going to include all the new era cards. And we don't know what that's even going to look like, right? But what can we assume is going to be in 2023? So if we go take a look at Trainer Toolkit 2020. Let's take a look and see what was inside of it. Actually, do we want to go 2020 or do we want to go 2019? I feel like 2019 is actually a better look. Or do they even have trainer toolkits? They didn't. Trainer toolkits are still new. Okay, so I guess trainer toolkits 2020 is really it. So we can't really see then, because everything was in meta at that point. So we don't actually have knowledge of going back and looking. But we're going to go with... What are we going to do? We're just going to go to Scarlet and Violet, and we're going to say, all right, what trainer cards are currently having a high chance of more than likely being thrown in? So we're going to go common. Actually, no, we're going to go uncommon. We're going to go uncommon cards to start, because that's trainer cards, right? So Nest Ball. Nest Ball is probably going to be one that's going to be thrown in, right? Value of this will probably drop down to 60, 70 bucks or 70 cents because of it. Judge is a card I would be stunned if it didn't get thrown in, which, interestingly enough, the value of this Judge is not anywhere near as much as the other one. So interesting to see. What other cards? I mean, you can kind of pick your poison on which ones you think are realistically going to be thrown in, but you're going to have some competitive cards that are going to be thrown in here. Not to mention, too, if we want to have a conversation about Paldea Evolved card list, what are some Paldea Evolved cards that we could make predictions on what is going to more than likely bring value to the set when looking at some of the trainers? Great Ball, Rare Candy. I mean, there's these other trainers. I wish I spoke Japanese. But there's a whole list of more or less these trainers that are going to more than likely some of them be included. And which one of them, the question is going to be that $1, $2 card that's going to pop up in a trainer toolkit. Because some of these cards are going to pop up in trainer toolkits for 2023. And that's the question. The Discord bot is kind of AI. That's a good point of putting it, I guess. But what about the SV pre-release promos? Don't those go for more than the Kirlia? Oh yeah, I mean, if you get the staff variations, but Kirlia is a pre-release promo. I don't think you understand that. It just doesn't happen to have a pre-release stamp on it. So if you go look Kirlia, right? This is Kirlia pre-release. It is a pre-release item. So the Kirlia I was looking at was pre-release. Then there's a pre-release staff, which goes for way more. So people have to understand what pre-release versus pre-release staff means. So build and battles, in theory, build and battles are supposed to be items, in theory, that are pre-release, or there's pre-release kits. And with these pre-release kits, what comes in them is a booster box and 10 boxes of build and battles. These build and battles are then used for a pre-release tournament that should be hosted by a game store. So when it comes to the promos that are coming from build and battles, they're called pre-release promos for that reason. But then you have the staff variation, which obviously has a little bit of a staff stamp on it. So you can see right there, bottom left, kind of maybe a little difficult to see, but there's a little staff stamp there. Eli, with SV base pull rates being so good, how do you think this impacts long-term growth, considering just buying Sword and Shield era cards instead of SV? With SV pull rates being so good, how do you think that impacts long-term growth, considering just buying Sword and Shield? It's hard to say, Nico, because it literally is the first set we've ever had for SV, and so it's really preemptive to say off of one set that presumably everything is going to be good, and it's also very anecdotal, so it's hard to say that's truly the reality of it. So I can't really speak farther than that. I have seen the promos for SV be pricey but viable in the meta, probably Reverum or Halucha. Arceus, V-Star, those are going to be the cards included in the 2023. Dedenne was a playable card. Yep. Nest Ball and Beach Ball. Yeah, Nest Ball. I mean, you said Beach Court. Sorry, not Beach Ball. That's funny. Beach Ball is going to be in the deck. Cordy. The retreat cost of each Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponent's, is one less. Yep. This card has obviously dropped quite a bit in value, but it wouldn't surprise me if this kind of flipped around, because this is definitely a very, very viable card. Competitive, but I could be wrong. But what was I gonna say with that? I feel like there's definitely questions to be asked about which one of these cards is going to be popular. I'll have to go on Poke Beach and we'll have to kind of look, because I feel like you can kind of play into it with Poke Beach triple beat, and we can see all of the 73 triple beat cards revealed, and we can just go to the trainer section, or no, it's not going to tell us what they are, or will it? All right, here we go. So Great Ball, that's already been used many times before in the meta. I mean, Great Ball also technically just went out of rotation, so they're bringing it back immediately, or no, it was in Crown Zenith. So Great Ball is not going to add any value. I'd be upset if they discard that. Okay, Superior Energy Retrieval. Discard 2 cards from your hand. If you can't discard 2 cards, you can't play this. Put 4 basic energy cards from your discard pile into your hand. Whoa! That's insane. That's an insane card. I don't think you guys understand why that's such an insane card. Holy crap. That's actually kind of a crazy card. It's discard 2 from your hand. The synergy value with that is actually really crazy. Huh. Man, I love this. This card could synergize so well with so many decks. Whew. That's sick. That's actually sick. I would be surprised if that wasn't competitively viable at some point. Deandra Trainer. Put 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck, then draw cards until you have 5. That doesn't seem that crazy. Cleveland Trainer. Search your deck for up to 3 basic Pokemon that have 128 or less HP and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Clavel could be good, potentially. Draw 2 cards. If you have Steam in play, draw 2 more. I would say that's pretty good. Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their... I mean, this is just boss disorders. Once during each player's turn, they may search their deck for 1 basic Pokemon, excluding Pokemon that have rule boxes, and play it on their bench. Then that player shuffles their deck. This isn't really that special, I feel. The attack of each player's stage 1 Pokemon do 10 more damage. Also not that crazy. Jet Energy. As long as this card is attached to... when you attach this card to one of your Pokemon, switch that Pokemon with your active Pokemon. Oh, there you go. There's an automatic switch. I feel like Jet Energy could be very viable for sure. And then Luminous Energy, as long as this card is attached to a Pokemon or provides energy type. If this Pokemon has any special energies attached to it, this one C instead. There you go. Okay, so it's more or less just another colorless energy. But I mean, this is just looking at some of the trainer cards, right? And this isn't all the trainer cards. I think that there's definitely value from some of them. I would love this. It's upsetting that we can't see the full like long-term value implications of a card like this, because Superior Energy, we have history of it. And I have no clue how it was in the meta back in the day, because this was during Plasma Freeze, and I wasn't there during Plasma Freeze. I quit right before when playing competitively. So I wonder what could mean for sets like Silver Tempest, Lost Origin, Brilliant Star. They've got some insane potential. I mean, it really just comes down to what the Pokemon wants to do with releasing sets that are going to synergize hard. Because at the end of the day, anything could just pop off randomly. Like Regieleki just went crazy, obviously. And for some people, you can make these predictions by just going in and being like, all right, we just need one card that's going to be a basic electric that's going to just synergize. Like, if you say to yourself, you find cards that this card could be good if this were to be introduced, and that one thing gets introduced, then it's going to bring a ton of value, right? Following the free tennies topic, how's the free PC Lechonk promo doing? I don't know. Let's take a look. I assume if I just look Lechonk Pokemon Center, this is probably it. It is. This is $4. Not really crazy. Just open ST Build and Battle and only got one Korea. Well, did you open a case or did you open a display? Did you open one Build and Battle? Because one Build and Battle only gets you one promo. So if you open one Build and Battle and your one promo was Korea, that's actually good. What I'm trying to get at is sets like ES with terrible hit rates go stonks. So would a set like this with comparative pull rates not perform as well? No. Evolving Skies, I don't think had bad pull rates. I think people just look at certain specialty sets and they compare it to non-specialty sets and say it's terrible. The only set I can say from my personal experience, as well as from what we've seen like with the anecdotal data, is Lost Origin. Lost Origin seems to have an absolutely atrocious pull rate. But Evolving Skies, I pulled the Moonbreon about 3 or 4 times. So, and that's within sub 1,000 packs. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just me and I'm goated when it comes to Evolving Skies and pulling alternate arts that happen to be the Moonbreon, but it is my most pulled alternate art by far. By far, not even close. So I gotta wonder. And people are gonna say, oh, well, where'd you get it from? I've gotten it from tins. I've gotten it from booster boxes. I've gotten it from multiple different products and multiple different point waves. So it wasn't like, oh, this wave was a better pull rate than the other. I pulled it multiple different times. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's tough to say because a lot of it is anecdotal, right? Is this the live where we learn how to play the TCG? It is not the live where we learn how to play the TCG. But it is the live where we have a conversation about the TCG because rotational format is really important for people to understand. Not only when it comes to investing in certain singles, but also important to understand when it comes to knowing what's going to be printed or not. Because guess what, guys? it is now less than a 1% chance that you're going to see anything from Shining Fates all the way going back to Sword and Shield base get a reprint. That's it. No more opportunity. Not going to get a reprint. So the only possible items that could get a reprint are battle styles until now. And even that's still skeptical at this point. Or speculative. You know? I bought one booster box and one 3-pack blister. I pulled 2 out of our special illustrations. That's insane luck. Hi, Eli. Do you know how often you can order and get the Illustration 2022 card on the Pokemon Center? Once a week, it should refresh the code. That's how it's always done it. Sorry, ST and BB case, 5 Rapidash, 2 Archeops, 2 Sunflora. Okay, so you opened a display, not a case. But yes, that is rough. That you got 5 Rapidash? Yikes, that is really unlucky. I mean, it's better than 5 Sunflora, but, you know, you take it. Lost Storage, yeah, it's been bad. But yeah, I mean, you take the Archeopses all day. We can't have it both ways. Good pull rates decrease single prices, or crap pull rates increase single values. Yeah, usually it's a glitch in the system if that's happened. That's just kind of, yeah. Very rarely do you see something like that happen. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just look at the opportunity potential that we could have for Scarlet and Violet and it being a new... Here's what we're learning here, guys. And this is actually extremely important, and here's why. So, trainer toolkits. To my knowledge, we did not have a 2019 trainer toolkit. And I could be wrong. I don't see 2019. When I look it up, all I see is 2020 until now. 2020 toolkit came out in the second half of the Sword and Shield era, meaning that the only competitively viable cards were cards in the Sword and Shield era, or sorry, Sun and Moon era. Same concept applies for 2022. 2021 was busted. 2021 trainer toolkit was busted. Now, was it busted for this reason? Because it came out at the start of a new generation. And the reason why I feel like that's so important to know is because there is a lot bigger of a rotation when it comes to the start of a new generation. Because if you're starting at well, actually we don't know though, because our rotation got delayed. But I like to look at it as it's shaking up the meta, right? Because in theory... Okay. I guess here's my thought process. When you look at the new generation, and you look at every new generation that is open for Pokemon, typically the first couple of sets tend to be competitively viable sets, right? Sun and Moon base. Sun and Moon Guardians Rising, Sword and Shield base, Rebel Clash. Like, these are sets that tend to be competitively viable, extremely competitively viable. You look at like 70% of the trainers that were in play for a lot of the decks, they came from base or Rebel. You had Capture Energies, you had Galar Mines, you had the Sobble Drizzile, Inteleon, you had Evolution Incense, you had Air Balloons, you had Metal Saucers. You had so many competitive cards that came from 1 and 2 of the first 2 sets within the generation, right? And for me, when I look and see Scarlet and Violet, I say, what is going to be that next, right? Is Scarlet and Violet going to follow that kind of same trend? And I would like to believe so, right? And we can go back and we can look at Sun and Moon base and we can say, okay, is Sun and Moon base going to have these very similar opportunities? Let's go with Sun and Moon base and let us go with common uncommon. What did they have? They had Nest Balls, they had Double Colorless, they had Ultra Balls, they had competitively viable Pokemon cards. Obviously Nest Ball is, going up in value probably, if I were to guess. Most recently because of the new transitional switch being back in rotation. So that's another thing to look at. Nest balls, guys. Nest balls got introduced how long ago? So if we go Nest Ball and we'll go Poke Beach. When was Nest Ball officially brought back? So, because Nest Ball was introduced a while ago. Like a while ago. And if you look at the value of the Nest Ball, I mean, this card was going back to probably when it was released. It was probably released sometime in... God, I mean, the set came out at the end of April. No. Okay, so it looks like sometime in the start of December, we'll say, based on that article. So we say start of December, where was the value of the Nest Ball at the time? Start of December, the value of the Nest Ball was at around $84. And if you see, or sorry, 84 cents. And if you see now, it's at around $2, more or less. So the value of this card has doubled since we knew it was going back in rotation. And so I think for that reason, you also want to follow the cards that are coming back into rotation and their competitive viability. Because I think that's something you can really track. But I don't know, I could be wrong. Right? Because you can play old variations of cards when they come back into the meta. So they become competitively viable. They get a little bit of a boost. Hey, Pokemon, I found you on YouTube yesterday and already love the content. Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you, Braxton. I accidentally ordered like 7 Gardevoir EXs, like $5 each. Might be a blessing now, is right. Calm down, I'm here. What's up, Devin King? Pulled 3 hyper rares, Regieleki VMAX, Regidrago V-Star, and then Superior V-Star, also full art Ho-Oh and full art Canvas. Nice. Shout out to you on that one. The majority of the out of rotation cards end up going to Gym Leader Challenge format. Right. I'm thinking of opening up the build and battles along with packs in them, considering a lot of cards are playable. Thoughts, or sell the packs? I mean, if you're opening build and battles from like Silver Tempest or LO, then it makes sense to break down the bulk. So you're saying pre-order more 2023 trainer toolkits. I am putting a lot on these 2023 trainer toolkits. I am putting a lot of value. I could be so wrong on them, but I'm just... I mean, let's just go back and we say new generational cycle period, right? Sword and Shield base. The amount of trainer cards in this that were competitively viable for the longest time: Aura Energy, Evolution Incense, Quick Ball, Pow Pad, Ordinary Rod, Air Balloon, Switch, all this other random crap that is, you know, up and down. Crushing Hammer. I mean, there's just so much. And that's not even including any of the Pokemon. That's just the trainers. Then we go to Rebel Clash. Once again, clicking on the uncommons. Scoop Up Net, Special Energy, Capture Energy, Twin Energy, Training Court, Horror Energy, Bucket. Like, so many cards that had so much value. So many cards. So I just always wonder. Look at Drizzile. Look at how Drizzile's fallen. Man. Remember this card was $4? Yikes. 20 cents. Talk about getting rotated out. It's just paying attention to stuff like this. You're missing out on free tendies all the time. Imagine back in April, you pull this Drizzile from a pack. Congratulations, you're opening a Sword and Shield base set pack, and now you pulled a Drizzile. You just got $5 in value almost from that pack, off of just an uncommon. There's just opportunity, man, and I think that's gonna transfer to Sword and Shield, or to Scarlet Violet. We're just still, once again, waiting to see what that's going to be. Because if we go look right now and we say common, uncommon, rare, and holo rare. Oh wait, aren't all rares just holo now? Yeah. Right now it's just Nest Ball and Beach Court. I mean, electric generators kind of got value. I mean, but these are cards that really, they're just, you're looking at these cards and you're like, there's not really anything special going on yet. You haven't seen that pop off yet. I mean, you're seeing Ultra Balls, you're seeing Switches, you're seeing PAL Pads. But like, you're not looking at this and you're saying, wow, we've got a ton of cards that are absolutely insane in value. Like, realistically, it's just the Clef Key and it's just the Nest Ball so far. So either some of these cards are going to pop up in value and you're going to have to be the chooser of which one those are going to be, or you're going to find that the next set, Paldea Evolved, is going to have a lot of competitively viable cards. Or we're wrong. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Attach up to 2 basic electric energy cards you find there to your benched electric Pokemon in any way you like. Shuffle your deck. Shuffle the other cards back into your deck. That could be such a good card if we're going to see electric meta. Eli, how do I become a big online store? Well, take out a loan. Get out of here. If you wanted to start your Silver Border Energy brick collection, you need the new toolkit. That is fair. That is fair. Have you heard people say that SV is the beginning and the end? Thoughts? I think it's a decent base set to invest in. What do you mean by that, Corey? Like, they're saying the beginning and the end in terms of, like, it's all going downhill from here, or? Because I feel like people have always been hyperbolic, whichever way that is. Because I'm back and forth with getting the 2022 or just the 2023, because I believe Arceus V and V-Star will still be in the meta and they're different arts. I mean, I'm staying away from the 2022 Trainer Toolkit at this point. I'm not touching it at all. There's no point. The value is not there anymore. The value used to be there, but with, like, you know, 20%, 30% of the cards being rotated out from the Trainer Toolkit, what's the point? It's not going to be in the standard format. We don't know what's in the 2023, to be fair. We have absolutely no idea that's in the 2023. But I can tell you that there is a high probability that we're going to see a card that's going to be in there that's going to at least be worth $1 or more. And you might say to yourself, $1 or more? Is that really that crazy? But when you take into consideration, here, let me see if I can check on my end. Pokemon. So the wholesale value, and this is obviously me talking from a wholesale perspective. Of the trainer toolkit is, it looks like $22. Now, I want to see if there is other people. Yeah, so some of them are selling on other places for $21. But if you're saying $22 is what they're selling for, right? How do you make up that $22 in value? You're going to get 4 packs. What is the current price per pack for just standard Scarlet and Violet? I think they're selling for $3 a pack right now. Roughly $3, $3.30. Okay, so they're selling for, I mean, we'll say realistically around $3.20. So if you're saying that most of the time these trainer toolkits you could probably get at wholesale, you're going to say $3.20 times 4. Okay, so what do you now need to get in value? You now need $9.20 worth of promos. We know you're going to get an Arceus V-Star. Okay? So we're going to assume that at least one Arceus V-Star is going to add, we'll say, at least $3 in value. Now, the remaining amount of your bulk has to equal over, and then you're going to get a regular Arceus V. I mean, let's see how much are Arceus. Okay, let's look at just the current Arceus meta and see what Arceus are going for, period. So Arceus V. So just the standard V-Star is going for almost $10, and the standard V is going for around $4. So if we say the value of this goes down because, and the value of this goes down because of the trainer toolkit, right? We'll say that the value of the regular Arceus V, we'll say it goes down to, I said $3, but that seems really low to go down. We'll say it drops down 50% value. So let's say it goes down to $5. So we'll minus another 2. And let's say that the regular Arceus, which is at roughly around $4, goes down to $2. So we minus another $2. You now then say to yourself that, all right, you've got $2.20 is what we're making a prediction about. Of the remaining value, you've sold all of your packs at what the current market price is. You've sold all of your promos. If you're getting, we'll say, one Arceus V and one Arceus V-Star, it'll be interesting to see if they give you multiple copies, because we don't know that yet. Because all we know is 2023 trainer toolkits. If we go 2023 trainer toolkits, for example, the 2020 trainer toolkits will center around Arceus V and Arceus V-Star. Here's what it includes. More than 50 useful cards, including dozens of trainers, Arceus V and V-Star. It says Arceus V and V-Star. It doesn't say multiple. We have absolutely no clue if there's going to be multiple or not. So that's something we're still trying to find out. We're going to just be under the presumption it's one of each. If we're under that presumption, we're then saying to ourselves that pack value, promo value, you're looking at around $2.20 is what the remaining amount of promo values needs to be. If we say that nest balls are going to be included in these, and we look at the nest balls, because I would be stunned if nest balls weren't included, just based off of currently what the market value is for nest balls, they're selling at $1. We'll go normal version, $1.60. So let's say they come out, they go to $1 a piece, like they drop 60 cents in value. That puts us at now 20 cents. We now have another 48 cards we have to find a way to make up for the loss. So if we just say that the remaining 40 cards, because they're going to be a bunch of trainers, obviously. We're going to say the remaining 40 cards are going to average at least 15 cents in value, or the remaining 48. Then you're going to at least get $7.20 of value per, which if you're saying that's what that is, then you subtract that from 22, 14. No, you go 7.2 minus 20 or divide by 22. Okay, so you're walking away with around 33% return if you average at least 15 cents per card, which I think is very realistic. And that's also if you only get one variation of the V and the V Star, and if the pack prices are $3.20, which feel very low, to be fair, too. Which feel very low. And I'm also making predictions that the V Star and the V are also dropping in 50% in value. And I'm also predicting that the value of the netball is also dropping about 40% in value. So I'm making a lot of predictions based off of product drops. If that doesn't happen, then your margins go up. And if there is at least one card, because here's the deal, man. You look at the trainer toolkits, right? For 2021. The majority of the cards averaged around 15 cents without the scoop up nets and without the capture energies. That brought up the value by 10 to 15 bucks. So we're making this prediction based on the fact that the nest ball is going to be the most expensive card in the set. If there isn't another expensive card that's worth over $1 or $2, if there is another expensive card that's going to be at least worth $1 or $2, then obviously the value of this could easily incrementally climb up to 10 to 15 bucks. And if you say that, then you're almost getting a 70% return. So I don't know. This is all speculative, but I would like to believe that the V Star and the V for the Arceus being competitively viable is going to add a ton of value. I'd like to believe that we're going to at least get the netball. I'd like to believe there's going to be at least one or two cards. There's so many things to take into consideration with this. Yeah, it's all going downhill from here. No really expensive cards and prices are tanking. I mean, I feel like people are just doing what people always do, Corey, and they're just being hyperbolic. It's just Twitter being Twitter. I feel like people are just so hyperbolic all the time. Well, when Paldea Evolve comes out, that might change with more electric and water types. Pokemon, Mira Odin's electric is, you see where that card stands price-wise. Ampharos Flaffy. I mean, 100%. By the time Trainer Toolkit comes out, the SV packs will be minus 30. Get out of here. Why is Lost Origin popping, going up? No, you like the set. Devin, which Lost Origin? Are you talking about packs? Are you talking about booster boxes? What are we talking about here? Giratina at the top. Aerodactyl Artlurk is looking great. With the Pikachu Museum, just my opinion. He's responding to that, but I still want to understand the context. What's up, Too Much Tuna? Good to see you. How's AZ? AZ's nice. I experienced a little bit of AZ here and there, but if I'm being honest, I spend way too much time at home. So I haven't gotten the full experience. I'm opening up the packs and the toolkits. Haha, already sold on picking up 2023, my G. Okay, so this is ballsy for me to say out loud, but I will say it. And this is ballsy because a lot is riding on this. A lot is right. Like, okay, guys, you want to talk about me being crazy? Because I am crazy. I'm freaking crazy. When it comes to my inclinations and my gut reactions to certain investments, there are certain things that I don't shut up about, and I talk about it, and I'm like, man, this is going to be a crazy value. So I'm probably not going to get all the allocations, but I put in a large order for specific products for Paldea Evolved, right? We put in a large order for the booster boxes, the elite trainer boxes, etc., etc. Then there's the trainer toolkits. I put in an order for $17,000 worth of trainer toolkits. Now, am I smoking a large amount of crack? Probably. But I would like to believe there is some sort of speculative play here that could bode extremely well. I could be wrong. I could be 1,000% off base. I could. But the payoff for this, if I'm right, is insane. Because going off of what happened with 2021, the general breakdown value for the trainer toolkits was $45 on average. And people will say, what about shipping and fees? Yep, that's including shipping and fees. Because with the way in which I had, my system set up for, hey, every card under 20 cents, you're getting free shipping. And I was paying less for supplies. So I was actually making money if I sold a card. So now I just say to myself, okay, what is going to be are we going to get that same value, right? Are we going to get that same $45 in value? I don't know, because that's crazy. That's crazy for you to buy something for 17, 18 bucks and have a 150% value. I don't think that's realistic here. Like, it would be nice to see, but I don't know, man. I don't know. There's something in my gut that's telling me we're going to get at least a 2x value out of this on some form of competitive value. But I'm not saying that to get people to get like, oh my God, that's insane. Like, I need to get in this. I'm just saying that, like, I don't know, man. I'm crazy. That's all I'm saying is I am crazy. I put in an order for 17,000 trainer toolkit, $1,000 worth of trainer toolkits. I know. I need help. I need so much help for doing that. I don't know. So people, they asked me, Eli, when are you going to start collecting again? I don't know, man. I'm too busy buying trainer toolkits because I'm smoking so much crack. Tell us if you prop from the trainer toolkit so we can buy it. Thanks for the sacrifice. Well, I mean, to be fair, the sacrifice could have been made without me purchasing $17,000 worth of it. But, we will see. But to be fair, I think the reason why I bought so much of it is because I felt like I could barter with my distro about being like, hey, I'm buying a crap ton of trainer toolkits. No one cares about these typically. Can I get a deal? Can you bring it down to 20, 21, something like that? What would you say would be the best product to open and sell off content other than trainer toolkits? I mean, for the longest time, it was by far Silver Tempest Build and Battles. By far. I don't know what the market value is for that at this moment in time, but obviously I'm going off of what wholesale prices are. So if we go Silver Tempest and we look at Build and Battle, let's see the value. So Silver Tempest product, you can get a Silver Tempest Build and Battle display for $140. If you want a single unit, you can get it for so much more. That's crazy. If you can try and find Silver Tempest Build and Battles for $130, I would go there. $140 I'm less of a fan of, but $130 or below is a good deal, is what I'm saying. Because the Curlias are crazy. The Archeopses are crazy. And then I also am a huge fan of Lost Origin as well, because with Lost Origin, you also have the Comfy and the Gengar, and then each, or like 50 to 70% of the ones you open are also going to have an Irida, which is worth $1 per, and I think you get 2 of those. And are you get 2? No, you get 1. It's still a free $1. It's still free $1 worth of value. So where's the bell? Yeah, the Build and Battle display here is more, which is funny to me that it costs more for the Lost Origin one on the market, because you get more value out of the Silver Tempest with the promos. So I don't know, man. It's kind of wild. It is kind of wild. But that's what my favorite from a breakdown value perspective. That's the thing I've been the highest on the most, that I've been doing a lot of breaking down of. And by a lot, I mean like between Silver Tempest Build and Battle Stadiums and between the standard just Build and Battles boxes, I've probably broke down around $20,000 worth of trainer toolkits and Build and Battles Stadiums. So if we say that I'm paying, because I was paying well below wholesale because I negotiated a rate. If we say that on average for a Build and Battle, I'm paying about, we'll say $10 per Build and Battle, and I spent $20,000 worth of it. It's about 2,000 promos worth of Build and Battles. You assume a fourth of that is a Kirlia. Tom, I can't stop laughing, but I'll be putting up more pre-orders after this video. See, this isn't even a video that's trying to compel you guys to do trainer toolkits. It's literally a video of just telling you guys what I'm doing. Like, that's it, and it's working. It's ridiculous how much it's working. Because as soon as I noticed the Kirlia was at the value it was, and I kept hearing people talk about the Gardevoir being the next card for the rotation, I was like, yeah, this card's gonna stay valuable, and it's potentially gonna go up in value. So yeah, I'm gonna drop $20,000 on trainer toolkit or on Build and Battles and Build and Battle Stadiums, and I did that. They dumped Silver Tempest Build and Battles a few months ago. They dumped or dumped? I think you meant dumped. SH sent me like 18 cases. He ain't collecting anymore. Send me all your raw cards. Eli bundle special trainer toolkits. Yeah, I don't know. Crazy. I like the idea of Build and Battle displays for the promos. Open the packs. Could get a variation of cards that can be used in the meta. I mean, obviously there's always going to be a risk, right? It's a 1 in 4 shot, but my risk is high, or my risk is a lot lower when you know that one of the cards is, I mean, think about this, guys. Think about this. You've got 50 cents for the Sunflora. You've got $1 for the Rapidash. You've got $2.40 for the Archeops, and you've got $6.90 for the Kirlia. Divide this by 4. Your average promo value is going to be at least $2.70 with a 1 in 4 shot. That's crazy. That is crazy. You times this by 10, and this is average, obviously. You times this by 10, and you're saying that's $27 worth of value. If you're buying a Silver Tempest for, which hopefully you're not buying it for $140, but let's say you are buying it for $140, minus 27, you're then saying you're basically buying it for $113. You then say that you now have additional bulk that you're going to sell off. The bulk value that you're probably going to sell off is going to amount to at least $20 in value. At least. That now puts you at 93. Your pack price that you're paying is, or you're paying for 40 packs, that puts you at $2.32 per pack. That's at the value of $140. You can easily get this probably for $130. I'd be stunned if you couldn't find it for cheaper. You could totally find someone that's like, yo, I don't want this. Get rid of this crap. I don't want this. Actually, you know what? I will look for it. I will just look up Silver Tempest Build and Battle Display. I mean, someone's gonna be selling it somewhere. Start scouring the websites, guys. Start scouring places that have just Build and Battle displays in stock. We're gonna say a max price of 135. Because if you, I'm just saying, man. I mean, check it out. The looking back on each build and battle, there's always 1 to 2 meta cards, but I like just buying the cards more. Well, I totally get that, Digi. I have 2 Kirlias, 2 Archeopses that are both sealed. Is there anything inside or just energies? No, there's a ton of cards inside. So I was showing it earlier. The cards that are inside are silver, build, and battle. So if we open up this Silver Tempest build and battle, let's try and find out what's inside. So you've got a couple of cards. So you have this Rapidash, which is, so you have just a bunch of random basics, right? You've got a Rapidash that's worth, I think that's 20 cents or 25 cents in value. You've got an Archeops that's worth about 20-25 cents in value as well. You've got 2 copies of that. You've got some miscellaneous trainers, some of them worth, you know, anywhere between 5 to 15 cents, nothing crazy. Such as the... and then outside of that, is there anything else crazy? Just, you know, Magma Basin, Ultra Ball is going to pop up here, Zizu, and then your V-Star. So you've just got bulk. I mean, that's obviously what it is. It's just bulk. And you're more or less saying that you're getting at least $1.50 to $2 in value of bulk per. Because if you're saying that you have the Archeops, which is worth 25 cents, you get multiple copies, then you're getting a promo Rapidash, and that's another 25 cents. Like, you're gonna get your value off the bulk. But yeah, there's stuff in there. Here's an important question to ask that we haven't had a conversation about. So Scarlet and Violet build and battle promo. So here are the promos that are in it. So Halucha is the first promo. This doesn't seem right. There's no way. What? There's the first one. So the Scarlet and Violet Halucha promo. That doesn't seem right. But apparently it is. Okay, so we've got a Scarlet and Violet Halucha promo, which is going for 15 bucks. Okay, that's kind of crazy. We have a Palm Knot. That is going for $7. Got a Reverum. Whoopsie. It's going for am I missing something? Is there something special about these promos that I'm missing? Or are these all the ones from the building battles? Where did this go? What the heck? Ah! There we go. And then, whoopsie. Okay, so obviously the prices of these cards are still spendy because they're still in the pre-release stage, but it'll be interesting to see what these are going to be worth when we get more building battles, because we're going to get more building battles, right? There's no way. Okay, yeah, because these are selling for like $300. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense, right? Is selling bulk lots worth it? Yeah, it's kind of tough, man. Selling bulk lots is tough. Now, if you're saying selling bulk, yeah, selling bulk is worth it. Bulk lots, it's kind of tough. It's still pre-release build. Yeah. Yeah. It makes sense. No, it totally makes sense why they're still more expensive, because these were only given out at this point to shops. We're still waiting for additional Scarlet and Violet. But to be fair, I feel like we can look and see what's going to be what. So, for example, if we go Rev Room, right? Rev of Room. Sorry, I keep pronouncing that wrong. We know that right now the regular card's worth like 16 cents. It's not that crazy, right? If we go look at Halucha, we know that the SV variation of this card, do they have a Scarlet and Violet? I don't know why they're showing the reverse holo variation, but it's going for 14 cents, so it's not great. I mean, we're not seeing anything crazy right now. Like, these cards are expensive because they're scarce, but they're not showing value because their counterparts would be more expensive. Does that make sense? It's kind of like with the Curlia. With the Curlia variation. There... Is there a Curlia variation? No, there isn't. That's why it's expensive, because the Curlia has it's its own variation other than the. God, is there a promo version? I think there's a non-holo version you can get from. You can get from the build and battles, if I'm correct, but I don't know if it's the same card. No, yeah, so the Silver Tempest one. So here we go. So Silver Tempest, you can see that you can see the value being tracked. So this card is now worth 72 cents, and it's the Silver Tempest variation of the common non-holo version. You would see this, I feel like, being tracked in the holographic variation of base, but maybe they're more popular to pull, which is why. I mean, it's hard to say. It's going to be used in the meta. You're welcome. But I guess the point that I'm saying is, okay, we're saying it's going to be used in the meta, but we know the cards right now are that expensive, but they're that expensive because the pre-releases are still very scarce. So that makes sense why they're scarce, right? But if we look at Hawlucha, which it's out of stock apparently. If we look at Hawlucha and we look at the card itself compared to its regular variation, it's not worth a ton. If it's going to be used competitively, this would be worth a lot more. That's kind of the point that I'm making. When you play this from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you may choose 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon, put 1 damage counter on each of them. There's going to be some sort of synergy with that. We'll see what it's going to be. I'm still 50-50 on the Hawlucha because there's no scoop up net. No, there's an uncommon Conlia that is not a promo in Silver Tempest. Yeah, no, I just said that. I'm always delayed, so that's probably why this is happening. Yeah, that's also in the build and battles for the Silver Tempest. That Kirlia is. But yeah, there's a lot that's going to be questioned and shaken up in terms of when we get more build and battles for Scarlet and Violet. There's going to be questions asked. And we're gonna want to wonder. We're gonna be like Silver or Scarlet Violet booster or building battles. All right, how much is the value gonna be on these when they come out? So only time will tell. Only time will tell. But who knows, man? What's up, Zisco? Good to see you, brother. So there's just so many things. But all right, guys, I've actually been already going over time by quite a bit. So I think dude, Hawlucha is a double colorless too. It'll fit into Alakazam. What do you mean it's a double colorless? Anyway, but I've already been going for too long, so I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. We will discuss this more on Thursday, obviously, but I want to thank you guys all so much for stopping by. As always, we do weekly giveaways. Make sure you leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. Hit that like button, baby, if you guys enjoyed the video. But yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays are our Q&A session days, and Mondays and Wednesdays are when we post our videos. So make sure to check out for that. Stay up to date on all things. And then, yeah, outside of that, that is all for today's video. Thank you guys all so much.